Dear Mr. President, did you know that the U.S. government spends money on?
The U.S. spent $27 million on pottery classes in Morocco. The Department of Agriculture recently spent $300,000 to encourage Americans to eat more caviar during hard times at the dinner table.
Charles Tiefer, what is the Commission on Wartime Contracting and how did it come about?
Well, it's a commission created by Congress, a 3-year commission. Congress had seen that there was too much waste, fraud, and abuse in the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan from contractors, and that we were making much more use than we ever had. So it created a commission, the 8 commissioners, including myself and Chris Shays, to go to Iraq and Afghanistan, hold hearings, and find the facts and make suggestions.
The National Science Foundation gave Purdue University researchers $350,000 to test if golfers imagined the hole bigger, it would help their putting.
Unused commercial airline tickets totaled $100 million between 1997 and 2003. Washington spent $92 million on welfare.
U.S. Agriculture gave the University of New Hampshire $700,000 this year to study methane gas from dairy cows.
The National Institutes of Health spent around $442,000 on the study of male prostitution in Vietnam.
Fraud is estimated to be between 5 and 9% of the total waste. And, I would tell you it's probably closer to 9 than 5.
Couple of headlines. Here's the Politico from this morning. Report up to $60 billion in Afghanistan, Iraq waste.
We call the unsustainable projects. We have built so many buildings that we don't think can be used. We built the Kabul power plant, which Charles can tell you a lot about, that is extraordinarily wasteful, should never have been built. So the 60 billion number is, it may even end up being low.
Is any of that money recoverable?
There are efforts to get back some of it, but those efforts are slow.
I'm confident that one of 2 things are going to happen when it comes to the fiscal cliff. Number 1, we're going to see an agreement in the next 48 hours, in which case middle-class taxes will not go up. If that doesn't happen, then Democrats in the Senate will put a bill on the floor of the Senate, and Republicans will have to decide if they're going to block it, which will mean that middle-class taxes do go up. I don't think they would want to do that politically, but they may end up doing it. And if all else fails, if Republicans do in fact decide to block it, so that taxes on middle-class families do in fact go up on January 1st, then we'll come back with a new Congress on January 4th, and the first bill that will be introduced on the floor will be to cut taxes on middle-class families. And I don't think the average person is going to say, gosh, that's a really partisan agenda on the part of either the president or Democrats in Congress. I think people will say that makes sense because that's what the economy needs right now. So if one way or another we'll get through this, do I wish that things were more orderly in Washington and rational and people listened to the best arguments and compromised and operate in a more thoughtful and organized fashion? Absolutely. But when you look at history, that's been the exception rather than the norm.